Hello and welcome. It's 10 o'clock. It's the 25th day of April 2021. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. I put the W in Waffle. And it's time to go over a topic I've gone over before, because apparently I need to go over it again, because apparently I repeat myself. I mean, who ever heard of an educator who repeats themselves to make sure the point is made, or to pad runtime to improve the algorithm? Certainly not me. So, because some bloke seems to think I waffle, let's talk about something I talked about twice before. But it's an interesting topic, so it's always fun to revisit. And of course, I'm speaking of the 5-room dungeon, or what I refer to as the Rule of 3. So what is the Rule of 3? The Rule of 3, at least in my mind, it doesn't have to be in yours, in the time span of your adventure day, let's say you're running a 3-4 hour session, in order to make that 3-4 hour session move on to what the next session might be, basically there's probably 3 things that need to happen to get from point A to point B. Now, they don't have to happen in order. This is the first thing that a lot of DMs, especially new DMs, run into. That mindset that the path is straight. It's a railroad and we can't get off of it. So if the 3 things don't happen in the order I want it to happen, my game is ruined and I'm just going to flip the table and we're going to play Magic for the rest of the night. So remember, your players probably have no idea what's going on behind that screen. So unless they actually have access to your notes, they're just sort of guessing. They might have a general idea of the plot. I mean, if you're running Temple of the Snake God, they're probably got a general idea that we're probably going to run into some snake-themed shenanigans. But other than that, they don't really know. They don't even know that in order to get the thingy to do the thingy, they have to pull the thingy. So, if to get from point A to point B, there's generally about 3 things that need to happen. But they don't need to happen in order, and they don't need to happen in any specific place. That is the wonderful gift far too many GMs forget that they have. You can move shit around until the encounter actually happens. It's just sort of a nebulous idea. So, as we all know, players often don't go where we want them to go or do what we want them to do. Rather than getting locked into that mindset that it has to happen the way I want it to happen. It's like, well, okay, I wanted this to happen over here, but they're not going over here. I can move this to where they're going, and it can still happen. Maybe I have to change a few names, but whatever. Generally, as long as what needs to happen in order to move the story from point A to point B, those 3 things can happen in any order and in any location. That's, you keep yourself open. Then you just leave yourself for the rest of the time for the other shit that might or might not happen. Maybe they were supposed to talk to a dude and they didn't, but was it really important? If it was really important, you could put the dude someplace else. Or you could just say, well, it wasn't really important to that dude, so whatever. So that is the Rule of 3. Support me, water. I need a sponsor and money. And I will sell out. I will sell out. Waffle, waffle, waffle. I will sell out. Okay. The 5-room dungeon, or really, I guess the 6-room dungeon. So this idea has been floating around for about 2 years. I'm not the first to address it. I don't think I'll be the last to address it. People far smarter than me have addressed it better than I have, but this is my basic understanding of it. You can break down anything adventure-wise in our wonderful hobby to about 5 things. And you could run a complete adventure in 5 rooms. And if you look at most adventures, they really are sort of a series of just 3, 4, 5 things that happen, and then another 3, 4, 5 things that happen, and then another 3, 4, 5 things that happen. So you could basically break down any adventure, percolate it to its most necessary, smallest, diamond-like shape, and it's about 5 things. Well, then there's sort of a nebulous 6th thing, and that 6th thing is, why are you there? But 5 rooms. So, and again, these don't, except for room number 1, which is of course the entrance, but really these things don't have to happen in the order. This is just sort of the general order. And the first of the order of the 5-room dungeon, some type of fight. So room, and we're using room as more just a general idea than actual rooms in a dungeon, though this could, of course, actually be a dungeon. But just situation number 1, room number 1 is some type of combat. Why? Why do you want to start in a combat? To get the blood rolling, to get the excitement rolling, to get people instantly hooked into what is ever going on. Get the dice rolling, get the character sheet rolling, get people on, task and looking and feeling and getting right into that. You start the movie with an action scene. Blam, 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 boom, 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 explosion, 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 da, 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 da. Heart running, blood pumping, senses heightened. We're in the shit. Let's go. Second room is something to give the people who didn't get to do any of that da-da-da-da stuff a chance to do. So some type of task resolution that does not require combat. Because we got a lot of skills and spells and role-playing shit we want to get done. So here is our second chance to do some puzzle solving, use some skills, use some obscure magic, whatever. 3, an NPC or lore encounter. So this is kind of similar to 2, except it gets you more into the story of the world, something that hinders them, sometime where they might have to talk to something, a chance for them to learn something about the world, and, use some of the social skills and some of the other stuff that they maybe haven't got a chance to do. Now we've got them cooled down, we've got them sort of thinking, we've got them locked into what's going on. Room number 4 is another fight of some kind. So, again, guards, if room number 3 was talking to NPCs, maybe room number 4 is the fight with the NPCs after you talk to them. And a perfect example of how 3 and 4 might fit together is this. Okay, so 3, role-playing. You come to a door, and you know that there's bad guys on the other side of the door, which is 4, another fight. But the door requires some kind of shenanigans to open. Maybe it's like a gate or something, and the thing in the movie where 2 guys have to turn the key at the exact same time. And so, but they can't see you, and you can't see them because there's this door. So room number 3, role play. You role play to convince the 2 guys on the other side, 2 or more guys on the other side, to open the door. Once the door is open, they see, oh, wait, you weren't who we thought you were. Fight. So room number 4, fight. So there is a, perfect example idea of how that would work. I guess. I don't know. Water. It falls from the sky. All right. So we've had our minor fight. Now room number 5, the final thing, which of course is the big boss and your reward and your way out, I guess. But really it's just some type of big fight, big final. Everything has led up to this, and you're going to fight the big fight, you're going to beat the big fight, and there's going to be a reward. So that's generally the 5-room dungeon, with, of course, room number A being why they're there. Now, the big boss doesn't have to be in room 5. The big boss could be in room number 1, and room number 2, 3, and 4 could be dealing with the fact that we just bought, a big boss in room number 1. So an example of that would be the fight with Vader in the opening of Star Wars. The very first room is your big boss, Vader. The rest of that scene, that fight, that 5-room dungeon is running from or dealing with the outcome of the fact Vader was there. So 2, 3, and 4 would be, dealing with stormtroopers, some role playing, and then escaping in the pod or whatever. So that's how you could do it in reverse, because the big boss doesn't have to be 5. There should be some reward, but maybe the reward is in 5 and the big boss is in 4. But generally, you get the idea. Some type of mini encounter to get the blood rolling, some type of skill, task, hindrance, trap, whatever, some type of role playing, maybe a second fight, and then the big fight. Or big fight, and then the reward, and then you move on. And that is the rule of 3 and the 10-room dungeon, without a lot of waffling. Hopefully, I made that clear. But if not, I'm going to waffle again and go through it again. Okay, the room of 3 is... Anyways, I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. If you appreciate this content, comment down below. If you don't appreciate this content, wow, I cannot talk today. If you don't appreciate this content, subscribe, then comment down below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Remember, the 400th subscriber will win a gift pack of OSR product. And if we get to 500 by August 4th, we're going to do something crazy. Like, I don't know, eat snails or something. Till then, I'm going to go eat some waffles. Talk to you later.